Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm excited. We're making my Grandma Etta's award-winning blueberry muffins. Now, when I was a little girl, I used to go picking blueberries with her, wild blueberries in the Adirondacks. And we used to come back to her house and make the best blueberry muffins. And one day I decided I'm going to enter them in a fair, in the county fair. And I got first place. And all these older women were like, "Who's this young whippersnapper?" Well, they won first place. Almost every year I entered them. So they are to die for and very healthy. All right, now we're going to be using what's known as the two-bowl method or the muffin method of mixing. The muffin method of mixing. 2 bowls and you got yourself muffins, okay? Very, very easy. In 1 bowl, I'm going to put my dry ingredients. And I have preheated my oven already to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I think this is 4 tablespoons, about 1/4 cup of 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar. 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So dry ingredients go in 1 bowl, wet in the other bowl. You join them together, you got muffins. I'm gonna whisk this up. I need you to really whisk your dry ingredients up. A lot of people don't whisk their dry ingredients before they mix the other ingredients in. It's very important for the chemical leavener, whether you use baking powder, baking soda, or both, to get evenly incorporated, or you're gonna end up with large holes called tunneling in the baking world. All right, so we're gonna get all that's done. And we're going to put that aside. Next is our wet ingredients. 1 cup of milk. It can be any type of milk you want. It could be low fat, fat-free, oat milk, coconut milk, anything you want. 1 egg, and that's 1 large egg. Just get that in there, the whole egg. And 1/4 cup of oil. Could be vegetable oil, could be any type of oil you want, coconut oil, anything you want, or it could be melted butter. So it's interesting to note that in the muffin method of mixing, and that's a really hard thing to say very quickly, basically the fat is a liquid, whether it's, if you want melted butter, you could do 1/4 cup of melted butter, or you can do oil. And I do oil just because it's easier, it's a little healthier, so I do that. All right, so now we're going to join them together. And before we do that, you're going to take 2 pans or 12 to 14 muffin tins. It depends on how many, and here this is 2 muffin pans. Some muffin pans come 12, it depends. I need you to grease them really well. Non-stick cooking spray, a little oil, a little butter, whatever you like to do your thing to get them greased. Now we're gonna add the liquid ingredients into the dry ingredients. I find this is a little bit easier to do, and do not whisk them together because you're going to overmix and you're going to develop gluten, and gluten is going to create a tough muffin, and nobody wants a tough muffin. All right, especially the muffin man doesn't like tough muffins. So you're going to just take your rubber spatula and you're just going to go around and you're going to blend these 2 ingredients together, that's 2 sets of ingredients, wet and dry, just until they're combined. All right, and then the stars of the show, the blueberries, we will get ready. And I'm going to give you all my tricks because some people have asked me, how do you get your blueberries, how do you get your fruit in your muffins not to sink? Well, there's a little bit of a trick to that. First of all, when you wash your fruit, your blueberries, you want to make sure that they're dry. And sometimes I do use frozen, and there's nothing wrong with that. Today I'm using fresh. So I have 2 cups of the most gorgeous blueberries ever. And the key is a teaspoon of flour. So I use all-purpose flour, just putting them in here. I have washed the blueberries. I've sort of dried them off with paper towels. And I'm going to mix them with the flour. Don't be afraid if there's a little flour showing, it'll get incorporated. but it helps the flour to sort of grab onto the batter, and then they won't sink down to the bottom, and you're gonna have blueberries everywhere. I love when they're bubbling on the top of the muffin because it just makes that muffin so attractive. Now, if you want to use muffin liners, by all means, go ahead. I find that the muffins don't have the freedom to just like puff up as high as they can if there's a liner. Sometimes they don't go higher than the liner. So I'm going to put my blueberries in here. All right. And gently fold. We don't want Smurf muffins. We don't want blue muffins. If you would like to use 2 cups of frozen blueberries, do it. Don't thaw them. A lot of people say, oh, shouldn't you thaw them? No, don't thaw them. Because if you thaw them, then you're going to get Smurfy muffins. They're going to be really smeared in blue, and you don't want that. So just gently fold these in, and you can see the blueberries. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Don't you hate when that happens? I love when that happens. All right. My oven's ready to go. I have my ice cream scooper. And if you want to use a spoon and a rubber spatula, go ahead. I'm going to fill these relatively high. So don't be scared when you see me do this. And definitely try this at home. I'm putting them pretty high. So 3/4 to 4/5 high. And you don't want to overfill them, but you do want them pretty high. This will make about 12 to 14 muffins, depending on how high you make them. But they are fabulous as a breakfast. They're fabulous for, I actually went to a restaurant where they gave these out instead of bread before dinner. My new favorite restaurant, right? Because I love blueberries and I love blueberry muffins. It was like awesome. And I remembered that restaurant because it was so different. No one does that, right? You always get the stale bread and butter. This was amazing. So I'm going to get these in here. If you wanted to make really super giant muffins, you can take 1 6-cup muffin tin, and you can do that way. All right, I'm going to turn this around. And you can also grease if it doesn't come out easily. Sometimes after you do it a few times, they will get stuck. But I am stuffing these muffin pans with beautiful, beautiful batter, and we're not done yet, okay? So that's 6 there. I got plenty of batter. You can also make mini muffins. You can make baby mini muffins if you want. Just bake them a little bit less. They only bake in like 20 minutes, you got muffins. So this is known as a quick bread. Muffins are a quick bread because they don't have any really waiting time. They use chemical leaveners. They're super easy to make. And I bet I can have blueberry muffins on the table like literally in 30 minutes. It took us less than 10 minutes to actually mix this batter. All right. It'll take you longer to wash a few of the bowls out than it will to actually bake them. And by the time you're done washing, your muffins will be out of the oven. All right, so we're not completely done yet. I'm going to get these in here. And I like to really stuff my muffin tins. All right. Make sure you grease them. All right. So I have a few more that I'm going to get another muffin tin for. But the piece de resistance is a little bit of sugar on the top. All right. Just a little sprinkling, a little smattering of sugar over the top. This will help caramelize and make these beautifully brown. The blueberries will bubble, and when they're done, a sharp knife should come out clean. Like I said, about 20 minutes. If you make big ones, I would still give them between 20 and 22 minutes. All right, I'm going to bake these for 20 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like. So my blueberry muffins came out of the oven bubbling, and that's how you know they're done. When a small sharp knife comes out clean when it's put into the center of one of them, and the blueberries are like bubble, 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 bubble. And some ovens may need a few more minutes. You want to get a nice golden brown. It depends on your oven. And let them cool down for just a few minutes. And here they are, warm from the oven. They are gorgeous, and they are you can't just say, well, I want a muffin with blueberries. They all have blueberries, and they're bursting with blueberries. So what I want you to do is I want you to get some blueberries, and I want you to make these muffins. And you know what? I'm going to open one up and show you what's inside. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look, okay, I'm sorry. I have to do it. I have to do it. They're scrumptious. They are to die for. I hope you become a subscriber, and I hope you make this recipe. Until next time.